Pretty face, funny hat. That's what my Blondie is.
Lovable feet, both flat. That's what my Dagwood is.
Blondie's not always right. I let her think she is.
All of my thoughts are bright, long as he thinks they're his.
Life with us is
Fun and crazy,
baby dumpling.
us and Daisy.
What a family. Incredible, bumsteadable.
Hurry, you'll miss your bus.
Watch out, you'll burn your stew. Nothing's too much for us, as long as with me there's you.
Dagwood and Blondie,
Blondie and Dagwood,
always with me there's you.
Children, don't bolt your lunch. You have plenty of time before you do that at school.
Gee, Mommy, you've sure been happy lately.
Oh, I have every reason to be. Starting this week, Daddy's boss, Mr. Radcliffe, has promised him a $15 raise.
I wonder why.
Because he deserves it, that's why. Daddy hasn't been late to the office in weeks. Poor dear. He's been constantly keeping his nose to the grindstone.
Take it easy, Mac. That's a third bottle you've broken this morning.
When will the cookies be done, Mommy?
Well, I'd say.
Blondie! Hi, everybody. Hi, Daisy.
Dagwood! What are you doing home this time of day?
Well, what happened to the grindstone, Pop?
Huh? The one you keep your nose on.
Does Mr. Radcliffe know you've come home?
He sent me home.
Oh, Dagwood, you haven't been fired.
Oh, no, Blondie. I'm going to play golf this afternoon.
Golf?
Uh-huh. You see, Mr. Radcliffe and I are teeing off with a very important client, and he wants me along to kind of help cinch the deal.
Oh, excuse me, dear. Hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Radcliffe. He's right here. Just a minute.
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe.
Hello?
Dagwood, our date with Mr. Thorpe has been changed. We're going to meet him at 1 o'clock instead of 2. Oh, and be sure and bring those plans with you.
You can rely on me, Mr. Radcliffe. I won't forget them. Goodbye. Now I've got to hurry and get dressed because our appointment with Mr. Thorpe has been pushed up an hour.
But who's this Mr. Thorpe?
Oh, he's the important client we're playing golf with this afternoon. He's going to build a new radio station, and we are going to try to get the contract.
Oh! Where did you get these?
I bought them.
And what's in all those packages?
Well, a man in my position has to dress the part.
But where did you get the money to buy all these things?
Oh, I didn't spend any money, Blondie. I charged him.
Dagwood, don't you think you're being a little extravagant?
Oh, no, Blondie. I got a $15 raise starting this week, and if I cinch the deal this afternoon, I'll probably get a nice bonus.
I know, dear, but...
Mom, something's burning!
Oh, dear. Oh, my cookies. Oh.
Oh, my.
Oh, dear. Oh, look at them.
Maybe you left them in too long.
Oh. Well, I only put them in a few minutes ago. You just can't trust this old stove. One day it takes hours to bake something, and the next day it burns everything to a crisp, including me, in just a few minutes. Well, I'm sorry, children, but there won't be any cookies for after school.
Oh, yes, there will. I'm going to call Archer's right now and get that stove you've been admiring.
But, Dagwood, that stove cost over $300.
Ouch! Well, we can afford it.
Oh,
With my raise and the bonus I hope to get, we can afford it. Hello, Archers? Archers, this is Dagwood Bumstead of Shady Lane Avenue. Uh-huh. Well, Mr. Archer, you know that stove that you have in your window? Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to have you install that in my kitchen this afternoon. You can? Oh, you can? Well, that's fine. Okay, goodbye.
Honey, you shouldn't have done that.
No, nothing's too good for the wife of Dagwood Bumstead. Now, dear, while I change clothes, would you mind fixing me a little bite, a little snack?
Of course I will. Do you really think we can afford that stove?
Blondie, I always believe in looking ahead. Never behind. Ooh.
Oh, what happened? Dagwood, lunch is ready. You'd better hurry.
All right, Blondie.
That's what they wear when they play golf. I think you look very nice.
Well, the salesman said it was the latest thing.
Did he say latest or loudest?
Hey.
Alexander, your father will probably be the best-dressed man on the diamond.
No, not diamond, Blondie. Links.
Oh, links.
Yeah.
Well, wherever it is you play that silly game.
Silly or not, Blondie, there are more big deals put over on a golf course than there are in a conference room. Now, for instance, this Mr. Thorpe.
Say, isn't there a Mr. Thorpe in this town who already owns a radio station?
It's the same one, but he's going to build a bigger one. It's going to be one of the biggest in the country, big enough to broadcast coast to coast. And they're going to get some more kilowatts or cycles or something from the government.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Good morning, Alvin.
What do you mean morning? It's afternoon. How come you're so late delivering the mail today?
I finally got smart, Alvin.
Yeah?
Yeah. I always deliver the mail on this street at 9:15 every morning, right?
Right.
And every morning, Bumstead charged out of the house on his way to the office and knocked me down, right?
Right.
Well, I finally got permission to make this the last street that I deliver on. And I know that Bumstead is not going to knock me down at 12:30 in the afternoon, right?
Right.
You know, Blondie, I have a feeling I'm going to play a terrific game today. I'll probably make a hole-in-one.
Dagwood, I don't think it would be very nice if you beat Mr. Radcliffe and Mr. Thorpe too badly.
Oh, I'll let him win a couple of holes. In fact, I'm late. Out over the door.
I'll get to go away. Come on, children. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Look, Radcliffe, I have an appointment later this afternoon with one of my biggest clients, the Premier Biscuit Company. If that man of yours doesn't show up pretty soon, we'll only be able to play 9 holes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thorpe. Say, look, perhaps while we're waiting, we could discuss the building of your new radio station.
I told you we'd discuss that after the game. When I play golf, I concentrate on golf. And when I do business, I'm all business. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. Thorpe.
If he doesn't show up pretty soon, I'll be too old to play.
Woo, Mr. Radcliffe! Hey!
Here he comes.
Well, sorry I'm late, Mr. Radcliffe.
Yes, Dagwood, meet Mr. Thorpe. Mr. Thorpe, this is Dagwood Bumstead.
Oh, I'm
Hi.
very glad to... Oh. Well, bang went out, Mr. Thorpe. You go next and I'll go last.
You're not playing, Dagwood.
Huh?
You're so late, all the caddies are out. You're caddying for us.
Caddy? But...
4. Shh. And stop that hissing, too.
You didn't keep your head down.
We won't count that one, Mr. Thorpe. That was just a practice shot.
Caddy, tee up my ball.
Well...
Caddy, take out that pin.
Well?
Yes, sir.
For heaven's sake, stop walking around, or else take off those musical shoes.
Yes, sir.
Take that shadow out of there. Get off of the green. Caddy, come here and help me find my ball.
Oh, Mr. Thorpe, here it is, right there. How do you like that?
Give me my niblick.
Yeah.
That's not my club.
Yeah.
Haven't you got the right clubs in the right bags by now?
I'm sorry. Huh? Oh, no, just a minute. There.
Nice shot, Mr. Thorpe.
Oh, I found it, Mr. Thorpe.
Well, it's about time.
It's right here under the water.
I know it's under the water. Fish it out.
Oh, yeah. I got it. It is.
You got me stymied. We're not playing for money. Is it all right if I remove your ball until I put out?
Oh, certainly, Mr. Thorpe.
Well, Caddy, pick up that ball.
Oh, yes, sir.
That does it.
Oh, wait, Mr. Thorpe. Let's finish the last 9 without the caddy.
Nothing doing. In the first place, I have an appointment with the Premier Biscuit Company. In the second place, I wouldn't play another hole with you and that moron in the first place.
Is he mad about something?
Dagwood, you know that raise I promised you this week?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
So it is agreed, gentlemen, that the Premier Biscuit Company, for the time being, will continue with the same radio program.
Well, absolutely, Mr. Dixon.
I think we're all in accord with that, Bob.
Of course, when Thorpe has his station enlarged and we go on a coast-to-coast hookup, we'll have to spend more money on our show.
Well, that's several months off, Bob. We can take that up at a later meeting.
Yes? Send him right in. I'm sorry I'm late, gentlemen.
Sit right there, Thorpe.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
Bad news.
There'll probably be a slight delay in the building of my radio station.
Why?
Well, I hate to admit this, but it appears that I have wasted 4 weeks with the Radcliffe Construction Company.
I always thought they were a reputable firm.
Radcliffe may be all right, but he hires nitwits to work for him.
Mr. Thorpe, we're not interested in what firm builds your station. All we know is we have a contract to go on a coast-to-coast hookup through your station beginning October 15th. If your station isn't ready by that time, we'll have to give our account to someone else. Am I right, gentlemen?
I'll get busy immediately with another contract.
That's entirely up to you, Mr. Thorpe.
Good day, gentlemen.
Now, if there's nothing else to be taken up at this time, I propose that the meeting be adjourned.
Well, Bob, don't you think we should tell Llewellyn about our decision regarding the radio show? After all, he is the president.
We can tell him any time.
Oh, well, well, I heard there was a meeting going on or something like that. Now, what's cooking? What's cooking?
It's nothing important, Llewellyn.
Nothing important or not. I remember, I'm the president. I'm the president. Let me see. My chair. Let me sit in my chair. I'm the president, see. I want to know all about what's cooking. What's going on, boys?
It's nothing, Llewellyn. We were just discussing our radio program.
Oh, the new program? Oh, good. I hope you have a lot of comedians and laughs like the one I heard last night. Very funny, very funny.
Well, maybe we'll take your suggestion for the new one, but that isn't until fall, and there's plenty of time for that.
Till the fall?
Llewellyn,
Yeah.
you're breaking your promise, Llewellyn.
I am?
You gave us your word you'd stay out of the kitchen for a whole year.
Oh, well, I just can't help it. I'm never happy unless I'm mixing up a batter or mixing up some dough or something like that.
A promise is a promise, Llewellyn, isn't it, gentlemen?
But I'm on the verge of discovering a new cookie. Remember, gentlemen, it was my recipe to give birth to the first cookie.
We all realize and appreciate that, Llewellyn, but the head baker will quit if you don't stay out of the kitchen. He says you disrupt the whole staff. So will you please stay out of the kitchen?
So, you have another recipe, eh, Llewellyn?
Oh, yeah, but I'm having more trouble with this recipe than I've ever had before in my life. Seems the more butter I put in my batter, it doesn't get any better. If I don't put any butter in, the batter gets bitter. The batter gets bitter, it's no better than the batter with the butter in it. The batter than butter is better, but the batter without the butter is better than the bitter with the... All those in favor say aye. Aye, pass. Nothing helps, not even my new invention.
New invention?
Yeah, a rubber spoon doesn't even bruise the batter. Why? Because it's flexible, see? It goes... Oh, I beg your pardon. Sorry, but it won't burn your eye because I haven't put any vanilla in the batter yet.
Oh, dear.
Hi, Mommy.
Oh, hello, darlings. How was school this afternoon?
Oh, fine. Gee, what a swell-looking stove.
Oh, boy, cookies. Can I have one?
Not now, darling. It'll spoil your dinner.
What time are we going to have dinner?
Oh, as soon as your father comes home.
Gee, I hope he gets here soon. I'm starved.
Well, I don't mind what time he comes home. This is the first afternoon your father's had off for months. Oh, the fresh air will do him a world of good. It'll make a new man of him. Your daddy will probably be famished after his nice day on the golf diamond.
Thanks, Mommy.
Oh, you're right, dear. Lynx. Is that you, Dagwood?
Yes, Blondie.
Daisy, it's only Daddy.
It sure made a new man out of him.
Dagwood, what on earth's happened?
I stepped on a piece of barbed Blondie, and it stuck right in my foot.
Oh, poor darling. Did he go right through your shoe?
No, I didn't wear any shoes, Blondie.
Why not? Were they too tight?
No, too squeaky. Mr. Thorpe couldn't concentrate on his game.
Oh, it annoyed him.
A little, but it wasn't until after I hit him on the head with a tree that...
A tree?
Well, just a branch.
Dagwood, that's terrible.
Well, that wasn't the worst of it. The worst of it was when I drenched him with water.
Water?
Yeah, I fell in the lake.
Lake?
Yeah. You see, I was fishing.
Fishing? I thought you went to play golf.
Yeah, I did, Blondie, but I was fishing for Mr. Thorpe's wall.
Well, why didn't you let him do his own fishing?
Blondie, that's my job. I was caddying.
Caddying? I thought you were golfing.
I was golfing, Blondie, but I was caddying. When you're caddying, you're not golfing.
Dagwood, you have me all confused. Now, dear, start over again from the beginning.
All right. You see, when I went out to the golf course...
Dagwood, you didn't eat a bite of your dinner.
Oh, Blondie, I couldn't eat anything. I'm too upset.
What are you holding back, Dagwood?
Well,
I'm waiting, dear.
Blondie, I don't know how to tell you, especially after buying you the new stove.
What's the new stove got to do with it?
Well, Blondie, I'm not going to get the raise, so I guess we'll just have to send the stove back.
We can't send the stove back now that we've used it.
Yeah? Yeah, but how are we going to pay for it?
Well, maybe I can get a job, a part-time job, doing something.
Oh, doing what?
Well, I don't know. Dagwood, remember when Mr. Camel came here for dinner and ate up all my cookies? Well, maybe he was just joking, but he told me I could go to work for him in his pastry shop anytime I wanted.
Oh, who'd do the housework? Who'd take care of the children?
Well, with this new stove, maybe I could do the baking here.
Huh?
And if I could do the baking here... Why do I have to bake for Mr. Camel? Why can't I bake for myself? Make cookies and sell them, old Dagwood. You know all my friends and neighbors would buy them.
Blondie, I'm not going to have you work yourself to death just to pay for the mistakes I've made.
Do you need money?
You know very well we need money, Blondie. We need lots. Oh, yeah.
Then learn to be a radio engineer in your spare time by taking a short correspondence course from the Talbot School of Radio Engineering. Jerry Thorndike of Scranton, Pennsylvania, after only 4 weeks of study under our method, earned in 1 year $750 repairing radios in his spare time. If Mr. Thorndike can do it, why can't you? Be independent. Be your own boss. To obtain this marvelous course, send a penny postal card to the Talbot Correspondence School of Radio Engineering, Box 5200, Chicago, Illinois.
No.
Dagwood, maybe you should take that course.
Oh, Blondie, I'm not mechanically inclined.
Well, didn't you fix the vacuum cleaner?
Oh, I just put a blowout patch on the bag.
And didn't you fix the radio?
I just put a new tube in it, that's all.
But you made it work. Dad, there are hundreds of radios in this neighborhood alone that need repairing.
Oh, but...
Dagwood, you can do anything if you'll only try.
Yep.
Now, just think of it. In 4 weeks' time, you'll be making more money than Mr. Radcliffe pays you at the office.
I will?
Didn't the man on the radio just say so?
Yeah. Dagwood Bumstead, radio engineer.
Your own boss at last.
Yeah, my own boss. It's a good idea. I'll send a penny postcard right away. After I fix myself a sandwich. If you have carefully followed the simple instructions in Lesson 3, your easy-to-build crystal set is now complete and in working order.
Hello, Marconi. How you doing?
Yeah, hello, Alvin. Hello.
I understand you're doing some research in the field of electronics and radio technology.
Oh, I am? Yes, I am. I'm learning how to be a radio engineer. Going to be my own boss.
Tell me, Mr. Bumstead. In the 3-tube receiver modified for use with the 2-volt tubes, how do you prevent battery discharge through the voltage dividers when the receiver is not in use?
Well, it's... where does that say that?
It doesn't. I asked it.
Oh, yes. Well, to tell you the truth, Alvin, I'm not exactly familiar with that type of set. That must be in Lesson 5. Now, this is Lesson 4, and it says You are now qualified for better things. Start unpacking the shortwave parts. There, shortwave parts. There you are. There's the receiver.
That's the transmitter.
Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. This is the this is the receiver, yeah. When a man is going to be a radio engineer, he has to learn how to fix all kinds of radios, even shortwave.
What shortwave, Daddy?
Well, shortwave is just like long wave, only it's shorter. Understand?
Yes, I don't understand.
Yeah. Let's see. Hey, where's the book? Huh? Hey, thanks, Alvin. Let's see the instruction. Oh, instruction for assembling 6-tube regenerative SS receiver and 100-watt radio telephone transmitter will be found on diagram A. Yeah, let's see. Oh, there's nothing to worry about now, Alvin. With this diagram, I'll have this radio set together. In no time. No time?
I think I'll be going now, Mr. Bumstead.
Yes, well, goodbye, Alvin.
I'll see you when?
When?
When your high-frequency oscillations start backfiring.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, guess the first thing to do now is to set up the aerial. Let's see, the aerial. There you are. Dee-lum-bum-bum, dee-lum-bum-bum, dee-lum-bum-bum-bum, dee-dee-dee-dee-dum-bum, dee-dee-dee-dee-dum-bum.
Can I help, Pop?
Oh, boy, you sure can. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Yeah, that's it.
What are you doing, Pop?
Oh, you'll find out. Better to be safe than sorry. Here, now. Come here, Alexander. Now, look. Now, you just hang on to that end of the rope.
Okay,
And
Pop.
whatever you do, don't let go of your end of the rope. Now, here we go. Now, don't forget, Alexander. Do exactly what I tell you to do now. Because I don't want to have any arguments when I'm out there on that roof. Now, let's see. Let's try it now. Hang on now. Oh, boy, that's it. Don't let it out, Alexander. I won't. Oh, my. No. I made it. Ha.
Okay, Pop. Hi there.
Oh, hello, Alvin.
Gee, you sure look sharp today.
Hey, how do you like it? A brand new outfit. Just got it yesterday, huh?
You can at least take the price tag off.
Huh? Oh?
What are you doing out this way today?
Well, in the first place, it's Sunday, and I know that Bumstead isn't going to the office, right?
Right.
And I don't get knocked down, right?
Right.
And secondly, I'm going to have it out with that Bumstead once and for all. We've got to get together on the time that he leaves for the office, whether it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, or whatever it is. I'll adjust my time to fit his. Good idea?
Right.
Right.
Don't let go, Alexander, now!
Alexander!
Yes, Mom?
Alexander, I want you to run an errand for me.
Oh, I can't come right now, Mom.
Alexander, I said I have an errand for you to do.
But if I come now, something might happen.
Something will happen if you don't come down here immediately.
Well?
Alexander, are you coming? Alexander!
Okay, if you say so.
What on earth was that?
I have a faint idea.
Hey! Hey! Oh, my.
Good morning, KCKR. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Thorpe can't be disturbed right now. He's in conference.
Yes?
Mr. Green just called Mr. Thorpe. He said he'll be able to play golf after all.
All right, Miss Marsh.
Yes, Mr. Thorpe.
Get me the Ratcliffe Construction Company right away.
Why, in a few weeks, I'll probably be making more money on the side than I make here. As soon as I finish assembling my 6-tube regenerative SS receiver and my 100-watt radio telephone transmitter, I'll get my diploma, and with this set, I'll be able to get any place. India, Siam, China.
What good will it do? You won't understand them.
Why, in time, I'll be able to quit here and be my own boss. No more of this. I will give you a raise. I won't give you a raise.
Bumstead! Dagwood, that was a great move on your part.
Huh?
That was a master stroke of strategy.
Yeah, what was?
Putting those plans in that golf bag.
The plans in the golf bag?
Yes, putting those plans in Thorpe's golf bag. Dagwood, that was a great idea.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I thought that would work.
Work? I'll
Yeah.
say it did. Thorpe just phoned. He's delighted with the plans and wants you and me to come over to his office right away. Now, you get your hat and let's get going.
10 pounds of sugar, 5 pounds of flour, 4 pounds of butter. Yes, and a bottle of vanilla. Yeah. Looks like you're going to have a party.
No, I'm going into the cookie business.
Oh, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Taylor, would you be interested in taking some of my cookies to sell?
Well, to tell you the truth, we've got a tie-up with the Premier Biscuit Company.
Oh.
Of course, if you care to bring some of your cookies in, I'll be glad to display them. As strange as it may seem, we have very few customers for cookies. In fact, the best customer we have is that gentleman standing over there. Once a week, just like clockwork, he comes in and buys one package of every type of cookie we have on the shelves.
He must be crazy about cookies.
Why don't you approach him about your cookies? And the next time you come in, put some on the counter, and undoubtedly you'll buy some of those, too.
You like cookies, don't you?
Oh, yes.
I'm going in the cookie business.
Well, it's a good business to go into. Well, there's a fortune in cookies. That's if they're good cookies.
Well, my friends all tell me that my cookies are the best they've ever tasted.
Really? I'd like to taste one sometime.
Pardon me, but why do you just eat one out of each package?
Well, if I take one and that's good in the package, why, the rest of the package must be good, too.
That's right. But why do you...
Oh, Mrs. Bumstead, I won't be able to deliver your order till late this afternoon.
Oh, dear. I wanted to have them delivered right away. I intended to start baking this morning.
Oh, you're going to make your cookies right away?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, my car's outside. I'll be very happy to deliver you or whatever packages you have to your home.
Oh, that's awfully nice of you.
Oh, think nothing of it. We'll take it right away.
Oh. Here, can I help you?
You'll find him in Studio A.
Mr. Radcliffe, to see Mr. Thorpe, please.
Go right in, Mr. Radcliffe. Mr. Thorpe is expecting you.
Thank you. Now that we're in good again, for heaven's sake, don't do anything to gum things up. Okay.
Good morning, Radcliffe.
Good morning, Mr. Thorpe.
Well, good morning, Mr. Thorpe.
Oh, hello. Radcliffe, I gotta hand it to you. Sneaking those plans in my golf bag was a pretty wise move.
Well, I have to admit, that wasn't my idea, Mr. Thorpe. It was Mr. Bumstead's.
And I think these plans are perfect.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
With the exception of one small change.
Well, what change did you have in mind?
I'd like to have a shower installed in my private office.
Oh, that's no problem, Mr. Thorpe. We can convert one of these large closets into a shower.
Closet?
That's an excellent idea.
Oh, yes, that's an excellent idea.
How long will it take you to indicate that change on these plans?
Oh, very few minutes. If you got a ruler?
Right here.
Swell.
While your young man is making this change, I want to show you why our control room has to be enlarged for our remote pickups.
Say, I'd like to see that. What kind of amplifier is it?
No, you stay here and make the changes on those plans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, gentlemen. By the time you get back, I'll have it all done.
Thank you.
Pardon me, miss. May I borrow your nail file?
Sure.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I'm just going to tighten a little screw on Mr. Thorpe's radio.
Oh, you better not touch that radio. Mr. Thorpe only bought it yesterday.
Oh, yeah, but it's got a lot of static in it, and I can fix it in a jiffy.
Oh, now, really? You really better...
Now, don't worry about it. I'm a radio engineer.
I can see now why you need more space.
Especially when my station joins the coast-to-coast network. Incidentally, the Premier Biscuit Company goes on the air tomorrow night. Not with their big show, but the same as they had last year. And I'm giving a little party in my office. Would you like to join us?
I'd be delighted.
All their executives will be there, and seeing that you're going to build my station, I think you should meet them. And besides, it'll give you a better perspective listening to it over my radio than watching the broadcast. My radio.
Huh? Oh, hello. There was a little loose screw.
The only loose screw around here is you.
Dagwood, how could you do such a stupid thing?
Well,
You nincompoop.
Now, wait a minute, mister.
You idiot.
Now, wait a minute.
You nitwit. You blockhead.
Mr. Thorne, now.
I paid $1,500 for this radio. My biggest client coming tomorrow night. What am I going to do?
Wait a minute.
What'll I... Radcliffe, if you want the contract to build my radio station, fire this idiot.
Oh, no.
Yes.
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 It's awfully nice of you to help me, Mr. Simmons.
Oh, it's awfully nice for you to let me come.
How come you know so much about pastries?
Oh, I was practically born in the flour bin. My father was a baker, my mother was a baker, my grandfather was... They're all bakers. Sort of a hobby with me.
Oh, that accounts for it. Baking was bred in you.
Yeah, baking was bread. It's very funny. You made a joke. Baking was bread. Bread, baking, baking, bread.
Well, I assure you I didn't mean it as a joke.
Great.
Oh, Mr. Simmons, you must be a great help to your wife.
Yeah, but big help to my wife. My wife, I'm not married. No. Nearest time I ever came to getting married was when I baked a wedding cake for a friend of mine.
Oh.
Yeah. But you're married, aren't you?
I have 2 lovely children.
Oh.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right. Has your husband any culinary leanings at all?
Well, he does make a delicious sandwich.
Sandwich? Oh, I love sandwiches, especially with bread. What does your husband do for a living?
Oh, he has a very responsible position with a big construction company.
Oh.
And just lately, he's taken out radio engineering on the side.
Radio? Oh, I love radio. I love radio, especially the funny part where the comedians make the laughs go, yeah. I like that part of the radio.
Blondie.
Oh, will you excuse me, Mr. Simmons?
Oh, yeah, you go ahead. I'll take care of everything. You leave it.
All right, fine.
I'll fix everything up for him.
Dagwood, what are you doing home this time of day? Now, don't tell me you're going to play golf again. You got into enough trouble last time.
No, Blondie, I'm not going to play golf.
Then why are you home?
Mr. Radcliffe sent me home for good. Huh? What?
What do you mean, for good?
I'm fired.
You're fired? You're fired?
Yes, but what are we whispering for?
There's a man out in the kitchen.
A man?
Shh,
a man.
Yeah.
Who is he?
I don't know. He just picked me up in the grocery store.
Huh?
Well, I'll be leaving, Mrs. Bumstead. Oh, this is your husband, I presume. How do you do?
Yes, but who?
Yeah, you don't mind if I come back again tomorrow, do you?
Oh, no, Mr. Simmons. I'd love to have you.
Thank you. I'll bring my rubber spoon so I won't bruise the batter. I think we ought to put more butter in the batter. It makes it much better.
Huh?
More butter it is, the better the batter is. If the batter gets any worse, it'll be better. If you have better.
Well, who is he? What does he do?
Oh, he's just some nice old gentleman. He helped me home with my packages. And Dagwood, he gave me some very good suggestions on how to improve my cookies.
Blondie, I won't stand for having a man visiting you while I work. Or while I'm fired, either.
Why were you fired, Dagwood?
Well, I started to tighten a little screw on Mr. Thorpe's radio and...
Oh, Dagwood.
Huh? Yes, but Mr. Thorpe is so impatient. If he would have just waited a few minutes, I would have had the radio all put back together again. But no, he had to insist that Mr. Radcliffe fire me.
And he did. Well, Dagwood, there's no sense crying over spilt milk. We'll both just have to pitch in. You with your radio repairing and me with my cookies.
Oh, no, Blondie, I'm not ready yet to repair radios. And if just your friends and neighbors buy cookies, why, that wouldn't bring in enough money to...
I'm not going to sell my cookies just to my friends and neighbors. Mr. Simmons says I should advertise, and I'm going to.
Oh, no, Blondie. Advertising costs an awful lot of money.
Oh, not the way I'm going to advertise. I'm going to have circulars printed, and I'm going to mail them all out.
To whom?
To everybody in the phone book.
Yeah, but what are you going to say on the circular, huh?
In bold type, it's going to read, Blondie's cookies hit the spot. Blondie's cookies may be obtained at 4227 Shady Lane Avenue.
all dinner. I sure was hungry.
Well, no wonder you've been in the kitchen baking all day. You didn't even stop for lunch.
You certainly baked a lot of cookies.
Oh, you think I baked a lot today? Wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow. Huh, Blondie? Huh?
Well, I'm afraid that we're going to have to get some more butter and eggs and...
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll get more tomorrow. More tomorrow. Don't worry.
But you don't understand. You see, Mr. Simmons...
Oh, Llewellyn.
Oh. Well, you see, Llewellyn, we have to sell the ones we've already made to get money to buy the ingredients to make more.
Don't worry about that. Everything will take care of itself. Everything will come out all right. Now, don't worry. You have a cigar? Have a cigar?
Oh, thanks.
Well, children, you better go upstairs and get ready for bed.
Good night, Mom.
Mommy. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, kids.
Good night, Uncle Llewellyn.
Uncle Llewellyn's kind of cute. Good night. Lovely children and well behaved. Well behaved.
Well, if you'll pardon me, I have a little more work to do on my radio.
Oh, Blondie tells me you're a wonderful radio engineer.
Well, I wouldn't say an expert, but I just built one of the most powerful sets in the country. I think.
I'd like to see it sometime.
You would?
Yes.
Well, come right ahead, Llewellyn. There. Now, don't be surprised at what you hear. This set is so powerful that we might get India, China, or Timbuktu.
Good evening, Mrs. Taylor.
Good evening.
Hello, Taylor. How are you? Good evening, Mrs. Dixon.
How are you?
Hello,
No,
Dixon.
thank you. Later.
That's it, yeah. No, thank you. Ratcliffe. Glad to see you.
Oh, I hope I'm not late.
We have several minutes before the program starts.
Edwards?
Thank you. Not now, after the broadcast.
Do you know Mr. Farnham, Mr. Radcliffe?
No, you.
Mr. Radcliffe.
There it is. All finished. But I can't understand having these parts left over.
Oh, maybe they're spare parts. Huh?
Well, shall we warm it up?
Yeah, warm it up. Get some funny comedians. Get something laughs and things like
Okay.
that. Start it off. Yeah. Those are not comedians.
It's almost time for the program, folks. Quiet, everybody. This is it.
The Overland Broadcasting Company is proud to present the first in a series of 30-minute broadcasts sponsored by the Premier Biscuit Company. The Premier Biscuit Company, makers of the world's finest cakes and cookies, presents their string ensemble, whose smooth, dreamy music is in keeping with Premier's smooth, creamy cookies. I would like to say a few more words about Premier cookies before we hear from the string ensemble.
Another commercial?
The cookies like Mother used to make. Only better. Cookies with a personality all their own. Drop in at your neighborhood grocer and ask for Premier cookies. There are 18 different varieties to choose from. And now, our string ensemble will play Bringing in the Sheaves.
Isn't it beautiful?
Mrs. Dixon likes this type of music. Oh.
If it works, Dagwood, you'll graduate next week and get your diploma, too.
With you selling cookies and him fixing radios, your troubles will soon be over. Did you get that circular made up as I told you?
Oh, yes, I did, Llewellyn. And last night we mailed hundreds of them out. Wait, I'll show you one.
Oh, well, there's only one thing when you're starting off with a new product to advertise it. You got to start off modestly with little pamphlets or little circulars or something like that. And then as business increases, you advertise the newspapers and finally the radio.
Here you are, Llewellyn.
Oh, I can't read it without my glasses. You read it. Oh, come to think of it, I don't even use glasses. But you read it anyway. You read it.
Oh.
We shall now hear what a housewife thinks of Premier cookies.
Try Blondie's butternut cookies. They're delicious. They melt in your mouth.
What is this, dear?
Blondie's cookies do not stay on your grocer's shelf for days. They come direct from the oven to you. No other cookie can make that statement. Blondie's cookies may be obtained at 4227 Shady Lane Avenue. Oh, thank you, dear.
And that's what I like about Premier cookies.
I spend thousands of dollars putting Premier cookies on the air. And what happens? You let some cheap huckster horn in on my radio time with some blasted Blondie cookie commercial. I can't understand it, Mr. Dixon. Well, understand this. If you let a thing like this happen,
on a small broadcast. What's liable to happen when I go on coast to coast? The deal is off. When this contract expires, I'm going to give my account to some other network.
Don't go, Mr. Dixon. I'll check with the control room and see what happened.
It already happened. Come, dear.
Anything like that in my life.
If I could get my hands on whoever cut in on that show, I'd... What was the address she said those cookies could be obtained at?
Why, it's, I forget.
Now that I've lost my best account, you can forget about enlarging my radio station. The deal is off. Come on, dear.
Calm yourself, dear.
You think Blondie would do a thing like this to me?
What did you say?
I said nothing.
Now!
Order.
Did these air thieves pirate a pickle show? No. Did they steal from some soap show? No. They deliberately cut in on a show where they knew they'd do the most good for themselves. A cookie show. Advertising the same sort of product as we are. And, gentlemen, I insist that Mr. Thorpe prosecutes this woman and whoever else is connected with her to the fullest extent of the law.
And I second that. You're absolutely right.
You can rely on me, gentlemen, to go the limit. Have your secretary call my office for me.
Miss Barton, call Mr. Thorpe's office.
Your account means everything to me, and I won't leave a stone unturned. Hello, Miss Marsh. Connect me with Fuller. Fuller, about that incident last night. Get hold of the Mutual Detective Agency. Have them put 2 of their best men on the case right away. Don't worry, gentlemen. We'll have these people picked up in no time.
Bob, don't you think on a matter as important as this, Llewellyn should be here?
Oh, what does Llewellyn know about these things?
Well, I heard my name, man. What's going on here? Listen, I'm president here yet. Huh? Think about it. Over there. Now, what's cooking?
Didn't you listen to our radio program last night?
No. Who wants to hear those long-haired musicians play? No. I'm waiting for our new show with the comedians, the laughs, the ha-ha-ha. That's what I'm waiting for.
Some other company cut in on our program last night.
So what?
It was another cookie company.
I don't care. Another cookie company? Well, what are we waiting for? Oh, what are we waiting for? Arrest them, put them all in jail. Listen, I'm president and principal stockholder of this company, and I demand them all be put in jail and the key thrown away, every one of them. I've got to leave now. Gotta go away. Remember what I said? Get them all, put them all in jail. Each and every one of them in jail.
And business is slack, and we needed that contract for that radio station.
We certainly did.
I fired Bumstead, didn't I?
You certainly did.
He's no longer connected with this firm, is he?
He certainly isn't.
And still that Bumstead jinx hovers over me, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
When I bought this firm for Mr. Dithers, he warned me about Bumstead, didn't he?
He certainly did.
But I, being soft-hearted, paid no attention to him, did I?
You certainly didn't.
You call Bumstead and tell him I want to see him in my office immediately.
I certainly will.
What a sap. What a fool I've been.
You certainly have.
I'll take 2, please.
Oh, all righty. Now, here we are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll take 2 also.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I hope you can change a $10 bill.
Oh, yes, of course I can. My goodness, business has been so wonderful this morning. Now,
Listen, don't you fellas tell Dixon I swiped all this butter from the Premier Biscuit Company. I'll give you all a nice little cookie. What am I talking about? They don't even know Dixon. I'll give them a cookie anyway. Yeah. Good little dog. Yeah.
now I can pay for all that butter you bought.
Oh, forget it.
Well, no, Llewellyn, I won't forget it. I'm not going to allow you to help me bake these cookies and spend your money, too.
What do you mean spend my money? Some of my best friends are cows.
Oh, Llewellyn, those circulars were a great idea of yours. Just think of all the business we've done this morning. Look, over $30.
I told you it pays advertised. Now, if we could only get a spot on the radio.
Oh, it'll be some time before we can afford that.
Speaking of radio, by the way, is your husband working upstairs?
His ex-boss telephoned him to come down to the office.
Maybe he wants to give him his job back.
Well, if he does, Dagwood won't take it.
He won't take it?
Especially after he saw that long line of customers outside.
This is it. Did you get a load of that antenna on the roof?
Yep.
More customers.
Oh, good.
More customers. Right away. Well, gentlemen, how many do you want?
How many are there?
Oh, there's just a few now, but you come back later, there'll be a lot more.
Later, there'll be a lot more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dozens and dozens.
Oh, look, mister, we're only interested in your radio.
In the radio? Oh, in that case, I'll have to call Blondie. Excuse me. Call Blondie.
Blondie.
Oh, Blondie. There's two gentlemen outside want to see you about having some radio work done or something. I don't know what it is. Some radio work.
Radio?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, gentlemen.
We'd like to see your radio.
Oh, well, I didn't think anyone knew my husband was a radio engineer.
Oh, things get around.
Oh, I'll show it to you. It's right upstairs.
Hey, you guys see my rubber spoon? No?
Well, how do you like it?
Okay, Harry.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, yes, we can, lady.
Well, what's this all about?
You'll find out.
But my husband just built this.
Yeah, we know.
But...
Your name's Blondie, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, come on, lady, you're going with us.
Why?
You'll find out when you get there.
Well...
Where's my rubber spoon? I don't want to bruise the batter. That spoon. Here's spoon.
How long will I be gone to wherever it is I'm going for whatever I'm going for?
Well, that all depends.
Well, do you mind if I get my hat and coat?
Okay. Now, let's grab the guy.
That spoon.
Where's that fellow that answered the door?
Oh, he doesn't live here. He's just a visitor, and I can... If you'll just...
Where's that spoon?
Maybe he sneaked upstairs.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't have anything to do with whatever we've done.
Oh, sure.
Well...
Oh, I've been up there.
Well, he's got to be around here somewhere. He must have gone out the back door. With that face, he won't be hard to pick up. Let's get the stuff, Harry, and get out of here.
Where did it go? What would I do about it? Let's see. If I was a rubber spoon and I was lost, where would I go? That's it, where would I go? Of course, I'd go where other spoons go. That's right, where other spoons go. I know I'd find you.
Where are you going, Mom? Well, I can't leave my children home alone. May I take them along?
All right.
I want you to give me a breakdown on this mill work in here.
Good morning, boys.
Hiya, Dag. Good morning. Have you graduated from your radio engineering school yet?
Oh, not yet, but I finished my set, and I expect to graduate any minute.
Be sure and have your cap and gown on when the mailman hands you that diploma.
Yeah, well, never mind the sarcasm. Is your boss in?
Yeah, genius, and he's waiting for you.
Thank you. Oh, Mary, don't bother announcing me. I'm expected. You want to see me, GM?
Dagwood, I want to ask you just one question, and all you have to answer is yes or no.
The answer is no. Mr. Ratcliffe, I'm never coming back here to work anymore. I'm my own boss now. You fired me, and I'm going to stay fired.
Now listen, Dagwood.
This is my day, and you listen to me. Ever since I can remember, you've been firing me, hiring me, raising me, docking me, bonusing me, and unbonusing me, and I won't stand for it any longer.
Now, just a minute,
Blondie's
Dagwood.
been making money hand over fist. And if the business continues to improve, it'll give me great pleasure to give myself a raise.
Listen, you lunkhead. All I wanted to ask you was just one thing. Yes? Oh, hello, Blondie. What's that? Huh? 2 men came to your house and did what? They arrested you? Yes, Blondie, he's here. All right, we'll be right down.
Wait. What happened?
Just exactly what I thought would happen. That's why I got you down here. You and that radio engineering has Blondie in plenty of trouble.
Oh, no. Now, you're just trying to frighten me. Blondie's home because I just left her there.
Blondie has been arrested and they're holding her down at the radio station.
Hello, Blondie? Llewellyn? Oh, well, let me talk to Blondie, please.
Blondie's not here, Dagwood. She went away somewhere with a couple of gentlemen. I don't know where she went.
Well, they arrested Blondie, and they're holding her down at the radio station. Yeah. But what'd they arrest her for?
If it wasn't for Blondie and the kids, I'd let you take your own medicine.
What have I done?
Well, if I can penetrate that thick skull of yours, I'll try to explain it to you.
But I tell you, gentlemen, I had no idea I was broadcasting.
All you had to do was to flip this key down and you're on the air.
But I was nowhere near that key. And if anyone did flip it down, it was an accident.
Accident? Why, just as our announcer said, we will now hear what a housewife has to say about Premier cookies, you came right in on cue and said, try Blondie's cookies. Don't tell me that was an accident. It was too perfectly timed.
Well, as soon as my husband comes, he'll be able to explain everything, because he's almost a radio engineer.
Was that your husband who ducked out the back door?
Oh, no, that was just some nice old gentleman who was helping me with my cookies.
Oh, nice old gentleman had been known to blow up bridges, wreck trains. Who was this nice old gentleman?
Well, I can assure you that he had nothing at all to do with the radio.
We'll have him picked up inside of a couple of hours, Mr. Dixon.
Good.
Now, gentlemen, let's not jump at conclusions. Maybe this was an accident.
Oh, no, it's all very clear to me. Her husband built the radio, she did the broadcasting, and this kindly old gentleman is evidently the brains of the outfit. And I'm going to see that they're prosecuted to the fullest extent. And if you want to keep my account, you'll cooperate in this matter. And another thing, if that husband of yours is innocent, why doesn't he get here?
Mrs. Bumstead telephoned me from here.
Oh, well, she's in with Mr. Thorpe, but you can't...
Thank you.
No.
You can't go in there.
Yeah, but Blondie, I mean my wife's in there.
She's married to you?
Yeah, but she had nothing to do with the radio. I built it.
Well, you can't go in until I get through grilling her.
Grilling? Let me in there.
Now, Dagwood, they're only asking her a few questions.
Huh?
And do you realize that you're liable to a $10,000 fine and 2 years in jail?
Oh, dear.
You've been lying to me long enough. Take that.
Ow!
And that.
Ow!
And that.
Ow!
And that.
Ow!
And that.
They're not questioning her. They're torturing her. Blondie! Blondie.
Oh.
Who slapped you? Yeah, just point him out and I'll tear him limb from limb.
Dagwood, nobody slapped me.
Huh?
No. You. It can't be. Are you married to that?
I certainly am.
I can't believe it. I felt sorry for this little lady. Now I feel doubly sorry that she's married to this nemesis.
Now listen, I never nemesised anything in my life.
What did you say the penalty was?
$10,000 fine and 2 years in jail.
If they'd give him his 2 years and her 2 years, making 4 altogether, I'd give $10,000 out of my own pocket.
I'm glad to see you're in favor of prosecuting these two.
Not her, him. Call the chief of police, call somebody, but put him away where he can't do any more damage.
Well, I tell you, if Dagwood did anything wrong, he did it unconsciously.
He's always unconscious. Get on the phone, Dixon.
You bet I will. Wait till we get hold of that kindly old gentleman. We'll throw the book at him.
Yes?
Well, I was looking for...
So, you decided to give yourself up.
I
got him.
Oh, Llewellyn. Oh, you should have stayed at home.
Who's this? He's the guy who gave us the slip. He's the kindly old gentleman?
That's him.
Well, now that we got all 3 of them, get on that phone, call the police.
Oh, gentlemen, let's not jump at conclusions. Maybe it all was an accident.
What do you mean, accident? It's all clear to me. She did the broadcasting, he built the set, and that old coot is the brains of the outfit.
Coot? Who's a coot? What are my friends doing here?
Well, we're going to prosecute them for cutting in on our radio show last night.
What do you mean? When the show went on the air last night, I was with Dagwood up in his room. He was fooling around with the radio.
You were there when she went on the air and said tried Blondie's butternut cookies? They're delicious.
She didn't go on the air. She read from a circular advertising her cookies, didn't you, Blondie?
Oh, yes. Well, I was standing right like this.
Yes, and I was trying to get something on the radio.
Yes.
And I was sitting here just like this.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's the whole thing.
That's it.
That's what?
You've got your elbow on that switch. That's what sent it out over the air.
Did you do that last night?
I guess I
Well, what are we waiting for? They've all admitted their guilt. Miss Marsh, get me...
What's the idea? This happens to be Llewellyn Simmons, the president of the Premier Biscuit Company.
I don't care who...
It seems to me, gentlemen, that if you're going to prosecute Dagwood and Blondie, you'll have to do the same to Mr. Simmons.
Who is this? Who is this?
He's Bumstead's ex-boss.
You got a lot to say around here. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Thorpe, the owner of this radio station.
Llewellyn, answer me one thing. How long have you known these people?
Oh, Llewellyn's been helping me to bake my cookies.
You mean he's been making cookies for you?
Yes, and very good cookies they are, too. Here, you never saw such cookies in your life. Yes. Well, thank you. Very good cookies. Have a cookie. Here, have one of those. That's beautiful. Here,
Don't you realize you're in competition with yourself?
Yeah, but you would let me in my own kitchen. I like to bake. I like to bake sometimes.
These are good.
Sure.
But what's been added to give them this superb flavor?
Ah, we're not telling anybody that. That's Blondie's secret.
Mrs. Bumstead, the Premier Biscuit Company will be glad to pay you well for this recipe.
Gentlemen, that recipe is not for sale.
Go ahead and sell it, Blondie. Then we can pay for this stove. Huh?
These are mighty good.
Mrs. Bumstead, name your price.
No, I will not sell the recipe.
Atta girl, atta girl.
Mr. Dixon, your cookie program is going on a coast-to-coast network in a few weeks, isn't it?
Yes?
And you, Mr. Thorpe, are going to build a bigger radio station to handle Mr. Dixon's account, weren't you? And you, Mr. Radcliffe, were going to build that station for Mr. Thorpe?
Well, it looked that way.
You, liked the Radcliffe plans, didn't you?
I thought they were very good.
Who drew up those plans, Mr. Radcliffe?
Well, Dagwood.
Thank you. Dagwood. Well, if you'll agree that Mr. Thorpe continues with your account, and you, Mr. Thorpe, have the Radcliffe Construction Company build your new radio station, then, Mr. Radcliffe, I will allow Dagwood to go back to work for you. On my terms.
On your terms?
Oh, yes. Dagwood gets the raise first. Second, he gets a big bonus.
Oh, no.
And no maybe. Is that clear, Mr. Radcliffe?
Well,
Oh, no.
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Well, now it's all settled. Oh, except one more thing. Llewellyn must be allowed to do whatever he wants in his own kitchen.
Oh, well, oh, yes. Yes.
Of course.
In that case, Mr. Dixon, the Premier Biscuit Company can have my recipe for nothing.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Bumstead. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Very generous. It certainly is.
Thanks, Miss Marsh. Folks, excuse me for a moment. I have to listen to a new announcer.
Oh, may we listen
did that myself. Well,
Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The following broadcast is the first of the series, sponsored by the...
Goodness.
I can't understand it. Something's wrong.
Oh, it's only a little loose screw somewhere. Has anybody got a nail file?
Goodbye.
Dagwood, I'll see you at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Come on, bring the doggy. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
I'll get some butter tomorrow.